Hello, everybody, and welcome to this new Café and Crypto, or Radix Talk, or whatever we want to name it. In this time, we're going to be speaking with a project, an NFT project that is developing in Radix, and it's set to launch soon. Let's hope it doesn't get delayed as we are used to in Radix. But
No, we're
yeah,
good for quarter 1 this year.
that's good. Let's keep it like that. And
Yeah.
so I think it's a very interesting topic because yesterday I posted like a banner with different projects that I've been speaking with on this coffee and crypto space, let's say. And I said, okay, whoever wants to come here to talk about Radix, either a project, either a dev, either a community member that has a history or anything, feel free to contact me, and you just text me and said, "Hey, I'm just an NFT project," and I'm like, "What do you mean with just an NFT project?" So I'm glad to have
Everyone's
you
out.
here. And
Every everyone else. Thank you so much for having me.
no
Really
problem.
pumped to be here. Yeah, just love the Radix ecosystem. Love the community. Just the most. I'll say this: the most fun I've ever had in crypto for sure is in Radix, and it's
Nice.
just everything works so well. The community's so welcoming. Um, everyone's just been amazing, and even for learning in the
Mhm.
development side too, it's been great, and I feel like everyone is kind of opening welcoming with open arms. So I
Yeah,
just want to say huge shout out to everyone in the community. But yeah,
yeah,
great to be here.
I agree. So Leonardo, no sé si hablas inglés, pero no sé cómo traducir al momento este en vivo. Pues este en vivo es en inglés, Leonardo. Entonces no lo puedo poder traducir. Sorry. I was just telling because Leonardo is asking if I can translate with IA to Spanish, but I hadn't found like a software so far that translate in the very let's say live or something. There is some. I've been using this tool the tool that I use to edit every video that I do whenever it's not live. And now they added this IA or IA
Yeah,
tool that translate the voice, and they are working to move the lips to go with the voice in different languages. So it's amazing. I mean,
that'd be
everything that is
sweet.
going on, it's wow.
Perfect because my Spanish is no bueno, as they say. Uh,
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
yeah, but
So
yeah, so yeah, we can kind of start with whatever you want.
sure, yeah, and this is space for Radix. I mean, I joined this space more than a month ago now. Let's say joining like the community. I've been a holder of Radix for longer than that, but really to start interacting with the community, just let's say a month, 2 months ago. So I like Radix. I like what I'm seeing here, and more when I start speaking with devs, they are telling me everything that you can do in Radix, and I'm amazed. So that plus the community, that's why I said, yeah, let's give a big space on my channel, on my social media to any Radix project that want to come and just to speak about Radix and of course their project. So just having to said that, what who are you first of all? Who's the team behind this project? The project is called Bottom Dwellers. So
You
I
got
guess it's the name is because of we're always on the bottom in Radix or
it.
something like that. Or
Actually, it's so funny. It started out not that, but then we realized, wow, this is such a fitting name because we just seem to be dwelling at the bottom for longer than anyone ever thought. But
yeah,
yeah, it started out honestly. It was like so I'll introduce the team. So it's me,
sure.
Isaac XRD. So I'm Isaac, and we have General Sedgwick or Schwan.xrd, who is he's the mastermind artist, big deal behind the. He's the talent. He's the talent, and he does all the art. Um, he's got a great vision for how everything should launch, and what everything should look like, how we want to involve things. Grease Louise is another. He's the dev, basically doing all the back end
Okay.
work. So I'm sure you guys follow him. If you don't, you should give him a follow because he's actually really underfollowed. Like he's got like under 100 followers, and
Hmm.
definitely check his account out, Grease Louise, and you can just go to our
Hmm.
profiles and give him a follow because he's made leaps and bounds in crypto. He's kind of he's a he's a he's no stranger to programming and developing in the software industry, but as far as crypto, that was kind of new.
Yeah.
So but again, like I was saying, the community in Radix has been unreal just for help and like reaching out and being like, hey, we're kind of struggling with this. Any ideas? Like, and then guys like Rippy and Austin are awesome. And Beam, like people are just great. Like, I feel like devs are just quick to lend a helping hand to kind of newcomers. So yeah, that's it. It's me, Isaac.xrd, Schwan.xrd, and then Grease Louise.xrd. I feel like we could leave out the X.xrd because everyone's got that going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm kind of the so that's what those guys do. I'm kind of the public, marketing. I manage the social media and do stuff like this, and I go on spaces and all that stuff. But
Perfect.
and I and then just a little bit about the project, like I
Yeah.
was kind of saying, it started off with the idea of being these, bottom dwelling like crypto degens that were like Poseidon's many degen offsprings that were just trying to find their way in the world and searching for direction and it kind of like spoke to the bottom dwelling or basement dwelling crypto degen,
Hmm.
just sitting in his room trading crypto and
Oh, okay.
promising his parents he'll move out of his house one day, um, when he makes it big. Um, and then it kind of slowly, I started meeting more people in the space and reaching out, the machinist, Dogs Erratics from Edge, Hug, Zombie from Hug. Like
Hmm.
I started kind of meeting the other people and being like, man, we're doing this project and it's an NFT project, but it would be cool to, as a tribute to all these great kind of relationships that we've built along the way, kind of integrate these community traits that were like, the first comers in Radix to after the Babylon launch, like not really first
Hmm.
comers, but after we started getting smart contracts and we started actually doing some fun stuff on Radix,
Hmm.
um, there was kind of a lot of projects that were popping up and so incorporating those into the collection, and then Bottom Dwellers kind of slowly evolved into this community based NFT project that integrates all these kind of unique community characteristics. So like you got the hug monster in there, you got like the bar of soap from the Edge Club, you got the duck,
Hmm.
the yellow duck, and all with the little crown. And so all these little traits have now been kind of like with different rarity levels, integrated into the collection, and it kind of
Nice.
ties the whole community and ecosystem together. And we're hoping that it kind of is almost like a bit of a mascot for Radix, and we've all been in this together for well over a year, um, and just grinding and bottom
Yeah.
dwelling. So that's kind of, I hope that makes sense, and it's not too
Yeah. Yeah, it
all
does. I
over the
mean,
place.
that you describe about the bottom dwellers. Okay, I get the starting idea, and now it can fit the other one, right?
It
With
works
all
both
the
ways.
yeah, yeah, it works. Let's hope that it will work. Only the first idea, the original idea, on the next weeks and months, and we are not a bottom dweller for longer.
For
Yeah,
yeah, but
yeah,
this is like, it's like the wearing the mark of being there for the bottom.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I totally get it. Nice. So yeah, and now that I see the pictures, and you describe what is the intention behind, yeah, it looks like those type of guys on the
Like there's a
basement.
lot of
Just
like
yeah,
bloodshot eyes and like, and but
yeah.
then they're also, because we went like originally with that aquatic look, just the art has all sorts of like ocean, actual bottom dwellery kind of like,
Mhm.
like crawdads and like starfish and like random ocean creatures of the deep. Basically, they've been dwelling in the depths so long, they're starting to actually inherit the traits. And that's kind of like, we've been in the community so long, we're inheriting traits of the community. So that's
Nice,
that's the heart of I guess the inspiration, or the idea for the whole collection. The inspiration came from just really wanting to do more in crypto. Like,
hmm
we've I've been in, maybe I got into it like a year or two earlier or whatever than Sean, but we've kind of both been interested in crypto for a long time, and I he's a close friend, um, and so yeah, we were just like, I started in Cardano, um,
okay.
and I was kind of in that community, and it, like, nothing's ever felt as close or like welcoming as just getting into Radix and building. Like, I never even thought it was a possibility to build something. I always kind of dreamed about it, or thought, oh, wouldn't it be cool to launch my own token, or like do something,
Do
even just a meme
something.
coin or whatever. But it just seemed hard. Like, I even tried as far as setting up a validator node on Cardano, and it was just, it was tough. And
Super hard.
I think
Yeah.
my technical skill too, like, wasn't, like, I'm good with computers, but not like, I can't write on Haskell, and I'm not into programming, and Sean's actually pretty good at programming too. So like, um we kind of was like, oh yeah, let's try this. But even both of us with our heads together, and we're like, I don't think we're gonna run this. I don't even know if we're gonna make it if we'll get enough stakers and all that stuff. So, um, you know,
Yeah.
I spent a long time in Cardano as a Cardano believer, and like, participating and stuff, and at least just holding ADA and staking ADA. Um, and I've obviously Bitcoin and ETH. I started in Bitcoin and ETH, but the really when I got into being involved in more communities and stuff was Cardano in 2020.
Yeah.
And then yeah, found Radix. Uh, yeah, over a year, maybe a year and a half ago or something like that. Started digging into the tech, and I was like, man, just with how kind of more user friendly the experience is with developing, um, this might be our chance to really launch something, and have a crack at, or like a legitimate crack at making something real on chain.
Yeah.
And so, we always had the inspiration to do something, and always had the drive to do it, but just not like the connections and the technical ability to do it on other chains. Like,
Yeah.
Solidity's tough too, and like Haskell's hard. I just feel like if you're gonna have a chain that's gonna really take off, and you want a lot of development on chain, why not make it a bit more user friendly for people to actually like just cook? And
Yeah.
so,
Open it wider for more
yeah,
people.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, and so when we got into Radix, we just started playing around, and we're like, man, this is great. Let's do this. Like, Sean's always been a good artist, and I was always like, man, we should totally launch an NFT. Like, you're amazing at art. You actually draw real good, like actual good art. It's not just like stuff
Yeah.
that anybody could do, or it's just generated with AI, and you try and make whatever and make them kind of work together and look like a collection. This is like, he spent hundreds and hundreds of hours drawing these things and making sure every trait
Yeah.
works with every trait, and then Grease Louise on the back end writing the scripts to actually randomly generate these things is also another thing. And then having a minter
Mhm.
that works with a wallet connect on a legitimate website. Like, there's a lot of back end work to do in launching a good quality NFT project, a lot more than we originally thought when we got in. But um, it's it's been so fun, and I've been obsessed with it, honestly. Like, I feel like sometimes, like, oh man, am I what what do I do for a living? Am I a crypto? Am I am I a Radix full-time Radix guy? Or yeah, it's been good, but yeah, it's definitely taken a lot of our attention and a lot of our focus. But um, it's good. I really enjoy it. Um, I love the challenge, and I love the getting out there and promoting it too. Because I don't like I would never promote something that I didn't wasn't excited about and didn't
Mm.
truly believe in. And I even like with my normal account, like I only show things that I'm like, man, this is great. Like more people need to know about this. Like I feel like a almost like a Radix evangelist, right? Um,
Yeah.
and so hopefully we can bring more users into this space through bottom dwellers, and that's another goal. Like I like let's pull some people out of other chains that are just like hardcore soul guys or like hardcore and just like you don't
Yeah.
even have to leave your other chain. Like just come try Radix and tell me you don't
Mhm.
think it's 9 bazillion times better than your current chain. That's just
Yes.
yeah. So, but
Yeah.
anyways, I've just rambled on. But like, yeah, I'm excited to be on this. Happy to have a conversation. It's nice to meet people and yeah. Like, how did you get uh into this and what made you launch Radix CTO and all that stuff? Like, I'd love to
Well,
just hear about that.
sure. Yeah. Yeah. We can speak about that. So, same as you. Well, I've been on crypto for since 2018. It's where I started in crypto. I wasn't looking for it, so it's I guess for a lot of us, it happens randomly that all of a sudden you start digging and digging and digging and seeing YouTube videos and all that stuff. So at the beginning, I started my channel. In the same time period because I wanted like document all everything that I was doing and my main let's say uh, saying at the beginning was if I can make it happen you can make it happen, right? Because I'm nothing special. And then I started doing a lot of stupid mistakes at the beginning and then I
We've
continued
all
to
done
do
it.
them all since even today. I mean every day you do stupid things. But I started documenting everything. At some point on 2020, so that was 2018, 2020, it was just like for fun or because I like to I start to really loving doing the videos and sharing my thoughts, sharing whenever I found either it was going to be a good or bad thing, airdrops, all that stuff. I mean, several things. I have I think like 3,600 videos or something like that,
Oh
a
wow.
stupid number. uh, so you can imagine you can find anything on my videos. At some point in 2020 when we had the COVID crash, I also became a Cardano lover. I got in Cardano on 0.03 when
Oh
the COVID crash happened. I received a bonus for my job, and I just put it all in Cardano in that time. It was not
oh, you're a
much.
beast.
uh, yeah, yeah, it
Even
was like
still at 3 cents, right? Like, whew.
yeah, at 3 cents, I received like 1,500 USD, and I put it there. At
Oh
some
man.
point, a year after, I was able to sell it about 200K. So it was like my biggest excess that I've done on this space.
Oh
Um,
man. And
I,
at
I
least you at
yes,
least you kind of took profits. Like you I did even worse. Like I didn't find it till 16 cents
okay,
and I bought a decent amount and just rode her right up to $3.10 and then rode her right back down and then just bought more and I'm currently still holding. So
that's
I'm horrible at selling, but it sounds like you got the at least you got the selling part down. I'm gonna
yeah.
just
It was
watching
not
my account
easy.
bleed.
It wasn't easy, but I would love to say that I sold and then I still have that money now invested back in the bottom the dweller of the
Yeah,
market,
yeah.
but I just didn't. I mean, I made some mistakes when I have a big amount of money after the bull market. So what I do on my channel is technical analysis.
Okay.
That's the passion that I found here, and I was able to call the top of the market on April May ish on 2021.
Yeah.
I was yelled by everybody saying that I was so stupid because I was gonna sell on that
Yeah,
time, and everything was gonna continue go up. But if you see the charts and you start understanding and learning how to read them, they tell you everything you need to know. So I call it very well, but then I made some stupid mistakes and I lost pretty much everything. So now after that,
but you
I
didn't lose
found
your
in love with that.
knowledge. You didn't lose your
Yeah,
knowledge.
yeah, and when that happens to anybody, because I read a lot of books on 2020 ish time, and if something like this happened to you or to anybody, and then you just start crying and go to the bed and just go like
Yeah,
this, then you're screwed because you lose money and you don't take advantage of everything that you've learned. But you
100%.
if
Yeah,
you keep pushing and pushing and pushing and say, okay, I'm gonna do it again, then you get to learn something. So that's if that would be something that I'm a master of. Very very like, no, this is not gonna win, this is not gonna win, I'm gonna win, I'm gonna win. So
resilient. Yeah,
yeah,
just
resilient,
stubborn.
that's the word. So I continue to like Cardano. I mean, how not to love it after what it gave to me. But
Yeah.
at some point in October, November, don't remember the exact month of 2023, I saw a video from Ivan on Tech. I really like Ivan. There is not too many YouTubers that I really watch, because then if I see too many, it start affecting my TA when I do my videos. But Ivan
Yes.
is not like a TA guy. He's a technical guy.
Hmm.
So he spoke about Radix, and I remember in the previous cycle he was speaking about Matic um, and Solana, I think. Uh,
Mm.
uh, I was like, yeah, that's okay, but and then everything explode,
Oh
and
yeah.
those two projects that he was speaking explode. So when I saw that he was speaking about Radix and the technology that he was explaining why it was good, etc., so I got in. I used the stake, and that was it. And then on March, when the smart contracts arrived to Radix, I took a look. I was checking in how was the community doing, the projects doing, but it was really really like low volume, not really a lot of noise. At least where I looked. So I just keep staking, and that's it.
Mm.
And lately, I start seeing a lot of movement on the network and on Twitter, and I start joining the Telegram groups, and I was like amazed how everybody was very very engaged and happy. And it's where I said, yeah, maybe I can do something here. And I start digging in the projects that were already there, and I didn't saw really like a cat as a meme. And cats, I mean, I wasn't
Yeah.
a meme guy 4 years ago, 3 years ago, but they're here. The memes are here to stay. So
I
um,
know.
now I've been changing my mind on the last 2 years.
Yeah, I
So
think
I
everybody
look.
has, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, everybody has. I looked, there was not a cat in there. And I remember when I was DJing in Cardano, starting 2024, late 2023, starting 2024, there was a lot of jokes with the CTO word over there. I got crushed with Nike. I don't know if you were able to, or you
Yeah.
knew that
I
one.
I have Nike, and I bought a little bit when it was starting to become a thing, and then
Mhm.
it crashed, and I bought way more
Wow,
at its low, and now
nice.
it's up a decent amount. But I don't know if it's gonna put in all-time highs. I don't know what it's gonna do. It's kind of one of those like maybe
Yeah,
Moonbag. Who knows what Nike will do? But my
yeah.
my two biggest Cardano bags are definitely Snack and Hosky. Like for memes. Um, but yeah,
I'm very sad because I got a big bag of snack and a small bag of husky, and then I changed those for the piggy for Nike,
oh,
and fuck.
it
Yeah,
Yeah, just
Yeah, I crushed
hammered.
because I was so there. The movement for Nike was really really big in Cardano at the beginning. At some
Yeah.
point, I started joining the community of the Nike. I was like in a, I wouldn't say a private group, but some with some other content creators, not content creators like me and on YouTube, but
Hmm.
let's say people that was really speaking hard about the Nike meme on Cardano. So I joined some groups, then I start seeing how they start fighting each other, and fuck, it just crashed. So yeah,
Yeah.
that was a sad story for for my side.
Oh, that
Otherwise, I
sucks.
would
Yeah,
have
like
my neck still and husky, and I would be very happy. But it is what it is, right? So
yeah,
I
everybody's
would,
got to, yeah, it
yeah,
always happens in crypto, right? Like, and I find over trading will get you. Like, you can have something that's just, oh man, this is going sideways forever. I'm gonna maybe rotate into this, and then it just takes off the next week, and you're just like, oh no, why did I sell that? Maybe I should get some more of that, and then you like make
it
this
always happen. Yeah,
stupid call. Yeah, and like everyone gets like it's such a volatile market that you're just, and if you overtrade, you'll be your own worst enemy. And I feel like
yes.
the best thing you can do is just like the gains you make from the biggest ones, and holding them. Just don't rotate your good ones out into potential other ones, because it might be the death of your
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
gonna be a big problem then later on. So I remember there was a lot of is- gameplay with the CTO word on those times in Cardano. So I saw there was nothing in CTO and not no cats. So I said, okay, let's do something like that. Trying to do a like a just a fun meme out of it, and that's how it was born. It's right now. It's I started like just myself, and then I got an interview with a dev called Andres Leon. It was my first interview for Radix ecosystem. Beam told me, "Hey, you should interview this guy. He's a very good dev. He speaks Spanish. He's from Spain." So I got an interview with him, and I was amazed with everything that he told me on the interview about Radix and how easy it was and all that stuff. So since then, I've been working with him to do something more to the project, and we're working on that. We're doing a series also of videos how to start on Scripto. I'm
Okay, yeah.
translating those in Spanish and in English for anybody that wants to start, because it happened something like happened to you in Cardano to me. I'm an IT engineer. That's what I studied like forever years ago.
Okay.
So I have like the background, but it's been so long that I've done nothing, programming anything. So when I was in Cardano, I also tried to look a lot of videos to see how I could develop something, and I was just not able to. It's so hard.
It
So
is
now
so hard. It's
I
insane.
have the good intentions to really start doing some developing here in Radix myself. And I think that I will be able to learn something out of Andres, that he's very willing to teach us. So
Oh, that's awesome.
that's it.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's another thing that's funny about Radix, eh? Like, because there is that kind of like really accessible programming language that, for the most part, if you're a decent dev, you can kind of wrap your hand around and get something
Mhm.
out. There's this expectation for utility with every single thing that launches on Radix, right? Like everyone's like, oh, you got a meme coin, like what
It's a meme,
what's
man. It's a
what's it gonna
meme.
do? Yeah. What's it gonna give us? Yeah, like
Yeah.
and then but it's cool because then the devs are like, well, it's actually, it's gonna do this. You can stake it. You can do this. You can it's gonna be a launch pad. It's gonna be like, or it's
Mhm.
you hold this amount of it and you have access to this function that I spun up. And it's like they are able to deliver a utility. And I think that's kind of, it makes it stand out from other chains. Like how many thousands of Solana tokens get launched on Pump.Fun like
Oh man.
every second, and you're just like, all right, here's what's this? Oh wow, all right.
Yeah,
Just
it's crazy.
most likely a rug. And I think people are going to get sick of that kind of constant losing money. I mean, it doesn't take long to get sick of losing money, but um, and then
Yeah,
gravitate to something that it doesn't constantly just bleed you dry. Um,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Totally agree with that. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy what is going on in Solana so far. I would say all 2024.
I
So
know.
yeah,
And it was such a good outperformer against Bitcoin. Like I try and look at alts against their Bitcoin pairs. Like that's kind of the majority of the trading I do. I'm looking at its Bitcoin valuation, and I'm a I'm a big time Bitcoiner. Like I really like Bitcoin. I've had Bitcoin since 2020,
mhm,
and there's got to be it's got to be really good to give up your Bitcoin for it. And a lot of times people are like, oh, look how good it does on its USD pair, and it's like, well,
yeah,
it just bleeds against Bitcoin, or at the very least, yeah, bleeding against Ethereum. So there's lower risk plays you can do, but
mhm,
like Radix is one of those ones, and Cardano, but Radix is one of those ones where I was like, even though it is like, I mean, you don't have to be a genius to see that it's bleeding against the dollar and very much bleeding against Bitcoin. Um, I still like buying it because I just like it. I
yeah,
like Radix so much. I don't care. Like I've bought a lot at 3 cents. I even bought some at 6 cents. I've bought at 1.5 cents. I can't stop. I have a very it's one of my highest conviction plays, I would say.
yeah,
And even though it's unable to show strength against Bitcoin, um, and the dollar. But it will turn around. I'm very confident. I put up actually like
yeah,
a while back, months ago, on my other account before I got banned from shilling early too hard. Um, I I did a comparison against the ADA BTC and
hmm,
XRD BTC, and they're very similar in their accumulation phase. Um, and their breakouts. And ADA went through a long accumulation phase on its Bitcoin pair, and yeah, like it was going from 2 cents to 10 cents or 12 cents or whatever, and up and down, and doing these huge moves on its USD pair. But when it finally broke out against BTC was the uh, I believe that's going to happen for Radix, and so I think
yeah,
it'll get back to 1,000 satoshis. Basically, I think XRD will be 1,000 satoshis.
yeah, yeah. I have that conviction as well. Just first, just watching at the charts, I think that it's gonna break out soon, and then going through the community and start to get to know all of you guys and what's behind Radix. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it. You don't have to be a rocket science to understand that this has something really good behind, and at some point it's gonna just break. And also, I tend to compare with Cardano because I feel like
Yes,
the same sentiment that was in Cardano before. That no, yeah, this is never gonna push.
I I
Yeah,
know. Yeah. People saying, "Oh, this is not going to take off. They don't even have smart contracts. They don't even have like just kind of." And then the community behind ADA
yeah,
was very very strong, and the founders were building, and there was uh, I feel like ADA was such a strong conviction buy, even though I got in I would say late. In comparison to what you got in, I feel like I agree with you. I see that same thing in the XRD Radix community with the amount of conviction, the ability to just diamond hand too. Like, um, and then, you know, people are just
yeah,
not like, yeah, I don't know. They just, people just don't like, they don't sell, especially the early guys, like it's hilarious. Just, they must hate money or something, but they're, they hold forever. And I haven't sold my early either. So uh, yeah, I think it's great. The whole vibe and um, everything working to kind of that goal of we're all gonna make it uh,
yeah, yeah,
is
and
great. We're all big Radix family.
it's fun because uh, right now, whenever I receive some box, instead of turning it into Solana or something that is pumping, I said no, let's put it on Radix because it's like betting on the underground, on the underdog, right? So
The underdog, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
So I love those histories, and I know it's gonna pay off at some
Yeah.
point in history. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's worth the risk, like it's worth
yes,
it to me. Like I'm so invested into the tech and the community, and I know so much about the chain now at this point that I'm just like, man, I'd be stupid. Like I would kick myself if I was like, if I sold now or something like that. Like it's just like basically I just have
hmm
to hold this forever. Like, um,
yeah.
at this point it's make or break. Um,
That's
so
that's
yeah,
that's for sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So let's go back a little bit with bottom dwellers.
yeah, we
So
went on a
you said
tangent. Sorry about that.
yeah,
That
no,
was
that's very nice. I mean, I enjoy speaking about Radix, and it was a very good talk. So, but speaking of your project, because this it's called the title is Bottom Dwellers Unveiling the Depth of the Unique NFT Project, and we really haven't speak about about that. So, uh,
yeah, yeah, and
you,
there's
you said
it's
that it's launching on first quarter.
yeah,
How,
first
how
quarter.
many
So
NFTs are gonna be? Is it like a 10,000?
it is not 10,000.
Okay,
I will not disclose the total number, but it
okay,
is less than 1,000,
okay. Yeah, because
less than 1,000.
if it's handmade, it's wow, it's very
Yeah, and
hard.
and so that's another thing. Yeah, for sure. I'm glad you said that because we totally could generate like the script that will use all these traits. There's so many
Mm,
traits. Like there's so many mouths, so many eyes, so many eyebrows, hairs, like all the like everything that goes into these to make each one of these unique things. Like each one is not a one of one hand drawn. So each
okay,
trait is drawn and then it's compiled with software
yeah,
that makes basically just like but through programming um
hmm
you run a script that randomly generates. You can for the mint, right? So when you mint one, it's actually going to be like this unique thing, making them all work with each other, so that he doesn't look like he has an eyebrow over his eye or something like that. Like
yeah,
everything has to work, but it's not like we couldn't generate. Like I think at this
more.
point we're able to generate 2.5 billion unique bottom dwellers.
It's
um
a big number.
if we ran that, right? But no one wants that many NFTs, and I think a 10,000 collection uh, is just is too many. I don't think it would like, and maybe it sells out, like, and eventually it would mint out. But
Hmm
I think this is geared towards our core group right now, and they can always go on the secondary market after. I think there's enough that everyone who really wants one that's been following us is going to get one if they want to mint one. It's not like going to be this surprise mint. No, hey, look, check this out, and then all of a sudden we just mint it, 1 o'clock in the morning or something, and you don't get one. If you want one, you're going to be able to mint one. I mean, unless for some reason I don't want to guarantee it. Maybe they mint out in 5 seconds, but I think you're going to have a shot uh, to mint one for sure. And I don't think you need to do 10,000, uh,
to
in
achieve
the
that.
collection. I think that making them a bit more scarce too and unique
Hmm
is even better for the total collection.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
yeah, we chose a lower number for the supply just because I like it to be more coveted, more more
Yeah,
intriguing to want to get one. And yeah, you don't want the 10,000 just floating around out there.
yeah. No,
So I like the
that's
lower number. Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, it's always better. I mean, it's like with Husky, right? They have I don't know how many tons and tons of NFTs. Going back to Cardano with Husky,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's good that there is not that many. And something that I was speaking with Edge Club founder is that's something that happens here in Radix. You have time, you have opportunity to dig or to put money on projects that you believe in, because it's not like in Solana that if you missed the first minute, then you're screwed. In here,
Yeah.
we have time still
Yes.
because the
Yeah.
community is not super big yet, so that's a good thing.
Yeah. And then maybe they're just, people come into Radix after and they're like, oh, how do I get one of those bottom dwellers? Like, sorry,
Yeah,
they're only available in secondary market. And, they might be going for, at that point, depending on what XRD is trading at, it's maybe they're worth a lot of money.
Mhm.
And that's like, also, that's another thing I should say is we're not like holding any back from the community. Like everyone has equal shot to mint the most rare one. So all the
Okay.
rarities and everything, all this will be charted on the website. You'll have your wallet connected and you'll be able to say, okay, what rank out of the total amount of bottom dollars on what rank am I for how rare I am, and then you can kind of gauge the rarity of what you minted. But it's like, the every guy that mints has the same chance of getting the rarest one. The team's not keeping any super rares back or something. The only
Mhm.
thing that we're doing is a one of one, the same as the community um, bottom dwellers that are getting sent to each community lead member. So me, Sean, and Breeze Louise will each get one of one. So
Nice.
it's not like we're minting them and then scrolling through all the bottom dwellers and be like, oh, we should keep that one's super cool, we should keep that one back for us. Like it's got to be completely fair for everybody.
Yeah.
And if there's one I really like, or like I will definitely
You can
be
buy it
there.
from the secondary market.
I can, and I can also mint one too. Like it's a free on chain. You can do whatever you want to do, but we're not
Hmm.
everything. All the available supply minus the one of ones that are sent to the community and the team, one each, um, will be everything else will be available to mint. And
Nice. Perfect.
so I really like that way we're doing it. We kind of struggled about bouncing back and forth. Like, how should we do this? Should we just, do no one gets any, everybody mints, and like, then you get the communities trying to be like, oh, I really want the hug one, and then they have to buy it on the secondary market. It's like, no, it's kind of, yeah, I like it this way, and being a one of one. Saying that though, so each trait from the one of one will be unique to that one. That's why it's a one of one. But
Hmm.
that doesn't mean that the hug monster, or the hug mouth, or the frog in the mouth trait, or all these different traits that are lined up with the hug project, those will all be integrated through the project. So someone might get a random bottom dweller with a hug trait, or it even could have a hug and an edge trait combined into one NFT. You might, and
Nice.
maybe it becomes a super rare one, right? Like maybe you got one that has all the, it's got Dan coin and everything all combined into it. Um,
Yeah.
and so, yeah, it's, we're not taking anything away from the collection. Basically, that's my point. We're not taking anything away from the collection by making these one of one um, NFTs and sending them to
Yeah.
the community. They're basically a mascot for that community. And so
Perfect.
that's it. And they are included in the total supply.
So how long you been working right now in the project?
We have been working just over a year. Sean's been drawing. We started the account. I guess I can
You could
look, but
say
yeah,
since
just
last year.
yeah,
It seems like a
yeah,
lot, but
yeah, an entire calendar year. I would say we've just over. Yeah, so that was when it kind of started. Yeah, I would say around January of last year. Yeah, for sure.
wow,
January. Yeah, yeah.
wow,
That's when we
long
kind of
time.
started the idea. Um, and that's it. Oh, I should talk a little bit about that. I don't want to take too much of your time either. If it like,
Uh,
feel free to
I-
kick me off anytime you want.
I'm
Um,
good.
but
I
we
remember
started out.
yesterday when we were speaking. You said, "Yeah, no, I only need like." You asked me how much time. I said it could be half an hour, and you said, "No, no, I'm not gonna fill up like an hour." And here we are, 45 minutes now.
Oh man, what? It's been 45. Yeah, time flies when you're having fun, and that's the thing. You can with crypto, you'd easily just be like, oh, I'm just gonna check OC swap for a second, and then boom, next thing you know, 20 minutes goes by.
Yeah,
Um, what was I gonna say?
the,
Uh,
you were saying in January it's
oh
when you
yeah.
start.
So in like originally, so we we started out. We're like, what are we gonna make for this? We're just developing the concept for the whole collection, right? Like,
Yeah.
what are we gonna do for our NFTs? We were like, oh, should we do like what animal are we gonna make, or what theme is this gonna be? We're just inventing something basically, and we tried this. We were like, oh, what about capybaras? Sean had this idea for capybaras, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of cool. They're kind of cute. They're kind of, people might like them. They're, you know, they're interesting. We were kind of just trying stuff. We ended up kind of scrapping that collection, and Sean still had all the images and traits that worked with each other saved on his iPad. And then while we were kind of developing the back end of Bottom Dwellers, we were like, man, there's so much on the line for this. Like, we really got to get this right. And because we're not like, you know, pro Scripto developers,
Mm-hmm.
let's do like a give back community test launch. And you probably already know about this. Well, how we launched Cappy Club, just to develop the proper scripts, the minter, and the wallet connect, and a makeshift website that was kind of, you know, here we're gonna try all this. All the blueprints that we have are gonna work with Bottom Dwellers, so it's not a waste of time. And if something really goes wrong, at least it was like, we're donating all the money back to the community through prizes, and no one's going to be like, oh man, these guys, I tried to mint a Bottom Dweller and all this work is, and it didn't work for some reason. So we were like, let's launch this Cappy Club and do it as like a weird battle where the winner, there can be winners, and all the mint money, 80% of the mint money actually, and then we took 20% for development. 80% of all the XRD raised, which ended up being like 84,000 XRD or something, just went back to the community as prizes, and somebody won like 17,000 XRD. It was pretty,
Wow.
it was pretty
Nice.
decent. Like, people were stoked on this, so they tried it. It worked well. We didn't have any hiccups. Everybody got their XRD. Everyone was happy. We have all our blueprints, the scripts, they work. So that was a very successful thing, and that was kind of like a stepping stone for us that got us, you know, you were like, okay, we can do art, we can kind of code, but we're not that experienced with crypto. Let's launch this. So that was recent. That was, you know, within the last couple months. I don't know if you got involved in that at all, or if you ended up getting a cappy, or if yours died. But it was super cool because the metadata would update, and like there'd be like a spear through your cappy's head and he would die. And then and so he would be eliminated from the battle. And so that's just like, you know, it was a fun thing. It took a lot more work, obviously, than
Yeah,
we
I
thought,
guess.
but it always does. And I think everyone really had fun with it. And a lot of cappies were killed in the process. A lot of a lot of capybaras died, but you know, digital ones at least. Um, and then there was the victorious cappies in the end, and those NFTs are actually still trading on Trove. So like, we set up our Telegram bot and everything, and it was tracking the sales and the listings of those. So that was kind of like a side project that we tackled as the Bottom Dwellers team. And it was a
Nice
it was
to
it
get
was it was
experience. Nice.
it was known, yeah, it was known by the community that it was a test project, and please forgive us if something goes wrong. But you're going to win all the XRD back, so it's kind of like a lottery. So if you want to do it, feel free. If you don't, no hard feelings.
Nice.
So yeah, that went well, and so next on the docket is Bottom Dwellers launch. So I didn't want to say, you know, what month in Q1, because I just want to allow a bit of grace there for what could happen. But yeah, I'm confident there will be people will be running around the ecosystem with a Bottom Dweller PFP before Q1 is over.
Nice.
So
So they follow them on X. I'm leaving the X tag on the description of the video, so that you can follow them if you are not following them still or yet. Just I guess you're gonna be communicating through X
it will
or
be all
Telegram.
through X. There is no Telegram yet. There's no
Okay.
token. There's no token. There's no plans of a token. So yeah, don't just, you know, careful. But not to say we won't eventually have one, and that's the beauty, is we can always build, but you will know if we do, and it'll be an official launch. But this is the start. This is the start. This is the stepping stone. This is the first thing, and you know, like everything else with Radix, I'm guessing once they come out, people are going to be like, all right, I got my NFT. Now what's the utility? But said no one ever on any other chain. They're just happy with their NFT, but Radix, they want more, which is sweet, you know, that's why we're better. We're better. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I have it here. So now what? What can I do with it?
Yeah. You get to keep it in your wallet and look at it and have it as your profile picture on X. Take that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say that the one that you're showing here on the video is the Radix CTO one because it's purple.
Ooh, okay. And I chose a purple one because of the purple theme. So, play your cards right. We'll see what
So I will want that one on the secondary market if I don't get to have it.
Yeah. And I wish, yeah, I don't want to like, it's we kind of have like our I don't want to exclude anyone, I feel bad, but at the same time we can't just like, Sean, add this one in, do this. Like he's gonna be like, man, at some point I gotta stop
Yeah,
drawing and we gotta launch this thing. So we kind of, there's a bit of a cutoff there for projects, but you know, that's all good. I mean,
yeah,
I think it's yeah. I think people are going to be receptive to it, and even if there's new projects that come up and they're like, "Oh, my trait isn't in this collection. I don't think I want it." I don't think it's going to be like that. I think everyone's very like,
nah,
"I'll buy your token, you buy mine," kind of thing. So
yeah.
it's at least the vibes. Um,
Very
yeah,
nice. Super. So yeah, let's keep waiting to see when it launches so that we can go and mint one or two or whichever. And you never know. I mean, whenever you're buying anything on crypto, you never know what is gonna be super successful and what is gonna be not that successful. You can tell by right now which one is the NFT collection Patchy Penguins, the one that is I think the price is 100K or something like that.
holy moly,
So
eh?
that's crazy. Yeah.
That's how
So
you know when things are over or are gonna start getting overheated when you just see NFTs just popping off, eh? And people spending $6 million on
yeah,
on
that
NFTs.
was crazy.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, no, yeah, not financial advice, obviously, but do whatever makes you feel right, and hopefully,
And do it for
people
fun.
feel right. Um, hopefully, they feel right buying a bottom dollar or minting one, or you know,
I
um,
will. I will.
that's good. I'm glad. And CTO is at a great price too. That's also not
Yeah.
financial advice, but I missed the CTO wave, and I missed my airdrop too. I was so dumb. Like I left, like I have a ton of FOMO staked,
Oh,
and and
you
I
didn't switch to version two
I
or
didn't
something.
switch to V2 because I'm just apparently a complete slacker in that department. And I thought I was like, oh, it seems like it's working, and I never actually migrated the token, and I just didn't get because it would have been a hot drop too.
Man,
Anyways,
yeah,
you can't hit them all in. But now I'm like, hey, maybe this is my chance, and um,
it's a good chance. I mean, there's a chance that it goes to zero, but you never
there's
know.
with every single crypto
Yeah.
project ever, and but that's with no risk, no reward, right?
Yeah, right now it's like creating the accumulation phase. I would
Oh yeah,
say I'm doing TA. You, that's the funny thing, right? It's whenever you do something for living and then you don't do it for yourself. So I hadn't done any TA on on CTO,
on
but
your own
I
chart.
yeah, I hadn't been looking the chart to be honest. I mean, it's better to just keep doing what I'm doing, keep doing these spaces with the projects, and just do fun stuff with the CTO account and the Telegram group, etc. But I
Yeah,
hadn't really been paying attention to the price because then you get like depressed, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. So let's keep working, let's keep doing things, and having
yeah,
some fun here with Radix ecosystem and Radix community. And at some point, if community like it, then it's gonna do its
it's
things.
gonna do
So
well.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, no, that's how it goes. Yeah, you never know,
yeah,
but sometimes you do. Yeah.
yeah. You never know. And I mean, I really enjoy doing this. I like doing videos. I enjoy speaking with people on crypto because on the regular world, you don't get to speak with anybody about this, right? Or very very very
You can
few
speak at
people.
them, but they generally like they get
Like,
annoyed,
what
and,
are
and they
you
walk and they
crazy?
walk away. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, what do you mean Bitcoin? That's so risky. I'm like, you should see, you don't know what
Oh,
risk is. Yeah.
Yeah, my boss right now. I'm not. I left my work on December 27th, to be full on crypto. But on December and November, I mean, like on the last 5 months, my boss told me, hey, okay, let me know how I can get to crypto, and let me know what to buy. So I just give him like the regular ones, right? Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, things
Yeah.
like that. And the risky one was a Dogecoin. It is not risky
Oh,
anymore, right? Uh,
I know.
he was like, "Oh, you're investing in this one?" I was like, "No, no way. I'm investing
Yeah.
on things super more risky."
Yeah.
So I,
More
before I
risky than
left
Doge.
on the last week of the year, he asked me, "Okay, which one is one of the those risky ones that you're investing in?" And I said, "Radix." And he just contacted me. I'm not there anymore, but this morning I was having breakfast, and he texted me and said, "Okay, I have the money on Mexi. So what do I do next?" So I got someone from the real world into Radix.
That's awesome. I
Yeah.
find I was just talking about that with someone, like how easy it is to be standing, like whether you're at a party and you're like, oh, and you start, more and more people are talking about crypto these days, and it's like, oh, I'm in this Radix, and
Mm,
it's super easy to try if you want, and then you can
yeah.
easily send them the wallet link on their app store, and then they get it and they're like, oh, download, oh,
Fast.
done, open it, create wallet,
Yeah.
name it, boom, you have an address here, like whatever, send them, a couple hundred XRD or whatever, and just like try this, or like connect to OZ Swap, connect to wallet, make a persona. Like it's
Yeah.
so easy to onboard someone, it's insane. Like if I was trying to get someone into Bitcoin, you'd have to, it's
Mhm.
like, okay, let's spend like 3 hours talking and then go and study on your own for like a year. And
And
then
then one hour to transfer it.
yeah, yeah, right. And then try not to be like super sketched out or worried when you got to wait, half an hour for your the block
Yes.
to mint.
It's a
Um,
scare. It's a scary thing. I did a movement from Bitcoin. I hadn't moved Bitcoin for a long time, and I did a movement. I think November each time, and I was scared because it took 1 hour. I was like, "Man, did
where
I did
is it?
something wrong? What is going on?" But it's
Man,
just
I feel like we've all been there. You're checking your address, you like paste it underneath, you're like lining each one up. You're like, no, it's the perfect address. It's right. Yeah. Why is
yeah,
it
check
not
the
there yet?
transaction ID and everything. I mean,
You're
it's not like I'm new here. I'm been here for a long time, and I
I
was
know.
like, "What is
You're
going
like,
on?" Because now I'm very used to Radix and it's super fast. And yes,
yeah, I know. Yeah. So that's where like, and I will go like, a couple years without moving any Bitcoin off my hardware wallet, and it's like that you just you forget how annoying it is to actually open it up and kind of make a transfer. When you doing it on a Radix,
yeah.
it's just like, oh, you want it from this wallet to this wallet, instant, boom. You want to buy
And
this, connect, buy. Like
don't get
it's
me into
so.
Ethereum, man. I do you remember last cycle? At some point, you wanted to move $1,000, and it was like 300 the transaction fee.
Oh,
And
I
I was like,
know.
"Fuck, what?" Yeah,
Brutal. And
it's
gas fees
super.
for minting
Yes,
NFTs. Like I
man.
remember paying, like, I think I paid 140 something bucks US to mint an NFT one time, like on ETH. And I was like,
Yeah,
that seems aggressive. Like that. I really hope this bad boy is worth more money than I paid for it, because like right away you're just down on your investment with the gas fee. That
yeah,
being said, I like Ethereum's massive and there's so much value locked,
money
and
over there.
there's a lot of the, it's got the ETF. Like I do see ETH performing well, but long term and fundamentally, I think it will lose market share to other smaller layer ones that are better and faster, cheaper,
Yeah,
more secure. But as it stands currently, I don't think ETH's at that bad of a place to be
it's still the big money is still there. So
big
I,
money. I think is
there,
still
yeah,
lining up for it. So, and like speaking of Bitcoin pairs, right? Like ETH BTC is like, in my opinion, at a very attractive spot to think about.
hmm
Changing BTC into ETH, a little bit.
yes.
But yeah,
Right,
I like.
right now, it's gonna be the time for altcoins, and the starting for Ethereum. So, yeah, the next months are gonna be super fun for everybody, all us degens in the world.
Oh yeah, it'll get pumpy out there. It
Oh
will
yeah.
get pumpy.
Well, Isaac, we have pretty much 1 hour now, and you said only half an hour. So
You were like hour. Let's keep it to a half an hour to an hour, and that we're bang on an hour. That's impressive though. Like it goes to show how yeah, you
it's
time can
easy to
fly when
speak
you're having
about
fun.
crypto. Yeah.
It's so,
So
especially when you're talking about crypto. Yeah.
yeah, and
Um,
especially if you're talking about Radix. So any
oh,
last
and bottom
comment
dwellers.
that you want to give to my community and your community on your project?
Yeah, just like uh super excited for the mint. I hope everyone else is too, and I hope to see everyone rocking a PFP of a bottom dweller coming up here shortly. I just want to say thank you so much for the support from everybody. Like the community's been insanely supportive, just working so closely with us, helping us, not asking for anything. Like it's been wild, and I just wanted to sincerely thank everybody in the Radix community for all the help, uh, all the attention and appreciation and everything that you've given bottom dwellers. And super happy to be here. Excited to be building something in the coolest L1 on the market right now. And I guess we'll leave it there. And
Nice.
thank you for listening to me rant. Sometimes I think I might have a little bit of ADHD or something, but I definitely like to go on tangents. But that's super fun. I enjoyed talking to you, and I really appreciate you
Thank
having
you.
me on your show and giving bottom dwellers a little bit of publicity and a shot in the spotlight. So, well, hopefully we can
No,
do this
thank you.
again when we have some more
Sure.
updates.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
if you're interested in talking to me more, but I feel like we're just getting to know each other.
Yeah, yeah, it was a very good talk, and thanks for texting me yesterday, and now we're here. We get to know a little bit more, and for sure, whenever there is an update on we're closer to the mint or we are on the minting phase, let me know and we can do something. I mean, this it's like when you know someone, you said my house is your house. In this case, my channel is your channel. So let's
That's
go.
amazing. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Well,
All
thank you
right.
for everything that you do, and appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you too. And thank you very much, everybody that is listening. And make sure to follow Bottom Dwellers and be watching what is going on over there. So thanks, everybody. And see you in the next Radix talk. Bye bye.
See ya.